How you doing, people? Now, some people like when I do these videos. I'm gonna do another Street Fighter 6 theory video, much like I've done with Marissa and Lily. And I just want to thank all my subscribers for tuning in. Everybody that's watching this video, especially people that are fans of Capcom and especially the Street Fighter series as much as myself. And I myself is planning to pre-order this game. I think I'm gonna pay the full. I think it was at 110 or it's over $100 if you get the ultimate pack. I'm gonna go ahead and just do that. I'm buy the full season pass because I'm very excited about this game here. And I'm very excited in the direction it's decided to go in. And I just want to get started. I'm gonna talk about JP. But before I could talk about JP, I need to just set the record straight and let everybody know. And this is no knock to anybody that's making a prediction because everybody has the right to their opinion. Everybody wants the characters they want to see come back and return, but I'm just gonna tell you, everybody fly off the top, and I'm somebody who's pretty much watched it. I played every video game that Street Fighter has came out with. Now I'm talking about all of them. I'm somebody who's been playing this since the 90s. Okay, I'm 33 years old, so my generation got the chance to play the very first Street Fighter 2, the World Warrior, when we were little kids. And I saw every ending, all of them. Especially after before I did this video, I went back and saw some endings recently. So when you talk about JP, you gotta talk about the entire storyline. And with that being said, Shadowlaoo is gone. It's dead. Bison is not coming back. The man is fully gone. Like, he's dead. Let's just be honest. Bison is dead. There is no more Shadowlaoo. Now, this is what people gotta understand. That for those who play all three Street Fighter games, that series alone entirely, Shadowlaoo didn't appear in that series at all. There was no Bison, Sagat, Vega, or Balrog. They didn't want to appear because that Street Fighter 3 takes place long after Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 3 takes place after Street Fighter 5 ended. Okay, so everybody go back and play New Generation. I understand there's a lot of people, there's a lot of the new generation that wasn't around when Street Fighter 3 was released in the late 90s. I get that. And there's a lot of good content creators, such as Street Fighter Verse, who's one of the bigger Street Fighter YouTube channels. But this was Street Fighter Verse to realize that, again, if an entire Street Fighter Third Strike timeline, there's a reason why Bison and neither does his Shadowlaoo army appear, because they're completely dead. They've been completely defeated from when Alpha and Street Fighter 2 all the way up until 5 taking place. Like, Bison can't bring himself back to life. He's done. If y'all watched Ed's ending in Street Fighter 5, he completely killed off the last of Bison. At least the spirit of him that tried to manifest itself. And if you look at most of the main clones, such as Rose, for example, Guy fought off Bison and protected Rose from him stealing her into the hyperdrive, or the cycle drive, whatever he calls that thing, those machines. Cammy got freed by Vega, basically in Street Fighter 2. Or Street Fighter Alpha. At the end of Alpha, Vega freed her. That's what she was doing with Delta Red in Street Fighter 2 series. Then if you look at in Street Fighter Alpha, when T-Hawk appears. Because yeah, everybody, like my generation, remember when T-Hawk was in Street Fighter 2, but he also appears in Alpha. Alpha is the prelude of Street Fighter 2. Before the Street Fighter 2 storyline, before that tournament even started, it was Street Fighter Alpha. The main reason why T-Hawk entered Alpha was to get revenge on Bison for stealing his wife, Julie, which is actually Juliana. And I believe Juliana is going to be confirmed for Street Fighter 6 because her daughter, Lily, is in the game. Yes, I successfully predicted that months in advance. I think it was the last year I predicted that. I told everybody that the reason why Lily has T-Hawk's move because that's his little girl. And sure enough, it was true. Roofelmonger didn't see that coming, nor did Maximilian do, but I predicted that. Nothing against those two at all, but I predicted that. You can go back and check that video for yourself. But yeah, T-Hawk wanted revenge on Bison because he brainwashed Juliana ended up being Julie. But Julie is now Juliana. I think she's gonna make a return in Street Fighter 6. And then the other doll, Judy, got destroyed. She was gone. You look at Street Fighter 4, the Capri, which is pretty much Cammy with the mask, right? All of them got defeated. Cammy is pretty much her own person. You look at Falk and Ed freed Falk. Balrog basically got, again, man, and we gotta look at the whole timeline. Most of these these generals, like Sagat, Vega, and Balrog, are basically living, they're on their own anyway. Let's just be honest, Vega was kind of wild card anyway. Vega has had his own intentions. He kind of moves to the beat of his own drum. Now, he's not really a part of Bison like that anyway. He kind of strayed away. Sagat been left. He was the first one to leave. The only real reason why Sagat even joined Shadowlaoo was to get revenge on Ryu for scarring him. Like, Chief shot him because Ryu was getting possessed with the Dark Kado. He was banned at the time, so Sagat won a true rematch. But in Street Fighter 4, Sagat got over himself, basically. And then he was like, he was done. Like, Sagat is not really evil like that anyway. He has morals and values. So I think at the end of Street Fighter 4, Sagat was done with Shadowlaoo anyway. So he was already done. We saw Balrog in Street Fighter 5 basically free Ed, and he was just bored. That man got tired of watching these dolls, and he wanted to do his own thing. And plus, Urien is basically is his boss anyway. Urien hired Balrog to do missions. Him and Ed are both working on the Urien. In my prediction, in Street Fighter 6, these two are going to be on the Urien, essentially. And I'm going to get to him a little bit later on in this video when I cover JP. And then we seen Birdie leave. Birdie was also part of Shadowlaoo, but Birdie got tired of dressed up in that uniform. We saw him fight against Fong and leave too, and walked out on him. He basically walked out of the base. He left Shadowlaoo for Karen. He's basically Karen's bodyguard now. And Fong, speaking of Fong, he was a terrible character. Fong was a failed Street Fighter character. In Street Fighter 5, the whole costume outfit, I didn't play him at all, personally. That outfit was ugly. Failed character. I mean, don't get me wrong, the poison technique wasn't bad, but it just, his outfit don't match. That was just god-awful, just like Nikali. It was a failed character. You won't be seeing Fong come back neither. He's done for. He's one and done. No, all of Bison, yeah, he's dead. He's completely dead now. A lot of his so-called clones, because what Bison does, Bison is basically, he essentially does what Orochimaru does in Naruto. He needs these clones to keep himself young again. He puts his mind into these clones. Bison, to be honest, is an old man anyway. In Street Fighter 5, he has gray hair. Bison is super old. But he uses these bodies to keep himself young again, basically immortal. Without these bodies, he can't survive. And we've seen in Street Fighter Alpha into 4 and 5 that his bases get destroyed. The main reason why Charlie Nash came back in Street Fighter 5 was to get revenge on Bison for how he killed him. Now he fulfilled his goal. Charlie Nash ain't come back neither, unless they bring him back as Shadow. Which he's known as Shadow now. He's no longer Charlie Nash. But Charlie Nash got his revenge on Bison in his storyline. Gil, we know, was the main boss of Street Fighter 3, but there was no sign of Shadowlaoo at all. Illuminati was basically the organization you had to hear about in Street Fighter 3. In all 3 of those games, it was Gil's a part and Urien are both part of Illuminati. And I know that Urien killed off Gil in his third strike ended. Essentially, now Urien is basically the main guy. So let's stop bringing up Bison. Me personally, I don't want Bison coming back in Street Fighter 6 at all. We could go another Street Fighter without him. We had at least 2 other Street Fighter. We had Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter 1 that didn't feature Bison. There's enough video games with Bison in it. There's already too many other characters such as Sean, Necro, and Sodom that people want to see that have not made another appearance. They have yet to make a return. Even Eagle from Capcom vs. SNK 2 that's originally was in Street Fighter 1. People want to see Eagle come back. Let other characters get in the rotation. Now, yes, I'm pretty sure that there'll be a lot of people that's going to try to create Bison in the World Tour mode that they're going to have. It was basically doing what they did in Soul Calibur. the latest Soul Calibur game where they allow you to create a warrior and enter them in the arcade mode. But now they're gonna or online mode essentially. They're doing the same thing for the Street Fighter 6 in World Tour mode. There's gonna be a lot of people creating Bison, and they're gonna be using JP's moveset. They're gonna try to be trained from, or they're gonna try to learn reuse the Shadowlaoo style, because there's a costume in Street Fighter 5 where Bison is wearing the same type of gi. So I'm pretty sure that people gonna create at least a younger version of Bison in the World Tour mode, but the man don't need to come back. He doesn't. He's basically served his purpose. He's been in enough Street Fighter games. And I'm gonna be very honest. I don't know if people have realized this, but there's not enough final bosses in this series. It's just not. Now JP has been revealed as a boss of some sort. Me personally, I think he's gonna be a sub boss, because I feel the main boss needs to be Urien, essentially. But me personally, again, there's not enough final bosses. Bison has been a final boss in most of these games in the series. We need more final bosses to keep this game fresh. And the one thing I can say about Namco's Tekken series, and even in other fighting games, like in other fighting games, like for example, the King of Fighters series, right? SNK, there's different bosses in those video games. Mortal Kombat, Ed Boon's Mortal Kombat series. Like in Mortal Kombat, for example, Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn aren't the only two villains that you gotta face as far as final bosses. In one game, you had Yunaga, which is the Dragon King, took possession of Reptile and became the Dragon King. You had him. You had Shang Tsung and Quan Chi in Deadly Alliance. You had Blaze in Armageddon. And even Shinnok. Shinnok was a final boss in Mortal Kombat 4 and Mortal Kombat X, which is he was in Mortal Kombat X, which is essentially Mortal Kombat 10. And I think at MK11 there was another final boss, but it wasn't always Shao Kahn. Yeah, Shao Kahn is not always the final boss in these video games. Same thing with Tekken. Kazuya and Heihachi are not the only two final bosses. We've had Orc, Unknown in at least two of those games. You had Azazel, which is the Egyptian ice god that you have to face. Devil Jin was also a boss. You've had Jinpachi, which was Jin's grandfather. Again, there has to be more bosses. You gotta have a different storyline in some of these games. Yes, I understand that Bison is one of the greatest video game bosses of all time. The man is in a lot of media. He's in a lot of crossover games. But come on now. We don't always have to have Bison. And even in online, every game Bison is in, you have to keep nerfing it. In Street Fighter 4 and 5, they have to keep nerfing it because Bison was just too strong. And people were using him, breaking the game. All that, like, air grab, teleport, that nightmare kick is just too broken. And all these other characters, again, to me, I don't see Vega coming back. There's a YouTuber that said he don't want to see Vega come back. Sagat, I think, is gone. Marissa is basically the new Sagat. I've said that already. They replaced Sagat with Marissa. He ain't coming back. Vega, I don't think Vega's coming back neither, because there's another new character they're getting ready to introduce. Name is Aki, or AKI. She's wearing basically the same claw as him. So yeah, I don't think Vega's coming back. Balrog is like the only other character I see returning. But he's under Ed now. And Balrog will just be a storyline only. I don't see him as a playable character. Especially if they have Dudley coming in here. And I can see a storyline where Balrog is encouraging, where Ed has to go through Dudley in a match. And Balrog is basically telling Dudley, like, this is my youngster. Right? My youngster's going to beat the crap out of you. Because Balrog don't like Dudley anyway. I feel Dudley's definitely going to make a return because we're in Street Fighter 3 time. Yeah, we're 6 years into the future of where Third Strike left off. There's no more Bison. He's gone. Okay? And another thing, too, is I don't want to see no more dolls. Street Fighter 5 storyline, it overdid it. It's too many dolls. And most of them have blonde hair and green eyes. I'm tired of it. Too many blondes. We need more diversity in this game. I've had enough of these dolls. Maximilian Dude said it best in his roster predictions of what he wanted and didn't want to see. He says, we are beyond the legacy that is the dolls of Street Fighter, which I can agree with. I'm done with these dolls. I don't want to see no more dolls. Let that die off. Street Fighter 5 is the last we go see the dolls in Shadowlaoo. And to be quite honest, the only time I ever want to see Bison make a return in the future is if Capcom decide to do another collab with SNK, and we have another crossover series like Capcom vs SNK 3, which is potentially going to happen in the near future, in the next 2 or 3 years. And let's say there's a Marvel vs Capcom 4, because there's a rumor going around that there is a Marvel vs Capcom 4. The only I mind seeing Bison in that game is a DLC. But other than that, as far as like Street Fighter 6, no more Bison. Let's lead that to another character. Now, with that being said, let's talk about this guy. Now, this is JP. This is the new old man of the series. And this is from the Street Fighter 6 website, as you see I'm on. And it says as follows. Head of an international NGO responsible for many successful investment projects and the man behind Nacel's present prosperity. He has a beloved cat named Cybele or Cybele. And I think that's it. Yeah, because I can't scroll down. Yeah, that's it. He stays on his clothes, sleep. So this guy's a workaholic. Likes chess pieces. Yeah, that's from the Street. They continue where Street Fighter 5 left off. Essentially, which is weird because in Street Fighter Third Strike, there was no chess pieces. But he likes chess puzzles. Yeah, Street Fighter Rush is trying to tie that into this series, but again, so he likes chess puzzles. Chess puzzles is basically the chessboard. And you figuring out how to beat a certain moves. That's just what that is. He likes cleaning, so he's very neat. He's a neat freak. And local cuisines. That means he likes restaurants. 6'3", 214 pounds. But he's the new old man in this series. Now, I want you to read something interesting. This lets me know that Bison is not... He's not Bison at all. So this is from the same... This is from Wikipedia, but this is from a site. In Wikipedia, these are people who have... This is a site I trust because people are like... They put a lot of time into this. It is Wikipedia, but it looks right. So he wields his cane in his leading hand while holding the other behind his back, charged with the mysterious power. While he normally fights with a cane, strikes and kicks, he can also use his hidden hand to summon portals, spikes, specters to do his bidding, even switching his cane in the other hand to do so. Now, trivia. So it has been speculated that JP uses psycho power, but this has yet to be officially confirmed. That means it's not confirmed he's even part of Psycho Power. Okay? So, again, we can't say that he's Bison. That hasn't even been confirmed yet. Me personally, man, this guy has nothing to do with Bison. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say he has nothing to do with Bison. If anything, this man is in business with Urien. Because remember, Urien had Balrog doing missions for him. Now, I said this in my Ken video, right? Because I even said it, we need Ultra Ken back. This has something to do with Urien. And there's something they doing to draw Ken into this tournament. I'm telling you that now, man. It has something to do with Ken. And the Dark Hado power. And you will come to find out that Alchemist is going to play a role in this too. But I feel Ken, this has something to do with him. Okay? And they need Ken for a certain reason. JP's using this tournament to draw Ken in. And remember, Ken is the reigning defending champion. In all his storylines, the man becomes champion. Essentially. Like, Ryo is not really fighting to be champion. Ryo is just fighting to just face strong opponents. If anything, JP is working with Urien. Urien is the final boss. This guy's basically the sub-boss. But he comes with his own unit. Urien has his unit too. And that's basically Falk, Ed, and Balrog. Because essentially, he's the new leader of the Illuminati. But NGO is pretty much like what Sin is with Shadowlaoo. And that's another thing, too. There's no more Seth coming back, neither. I predict Seth is not coming back because Seth, in his Street Fighter 5 ending, they basically ruined him. He wanted to face Bison, but there's no more Bison at all. Unless he thinks that this is Bison, which is not going to make any sense. I don't want to see Seth come back either. Before I continue, that's just a side note. Seth is dead too. He's gone. But yeah, this character here, again, he's something entirely different. If anything, he's linked with Q or G. We're gonna find out that Q and Q have a lot to do with this guy, and that he's essentially trying to stop this man for whichever reason. Now, if he had killed some of the spirits, I predict again he's gonna do something with Ken. Something they need Ken for, and they're trying to draw Ken in. And like I said in my Ken and Urien video, again, I have Ken being like essentially an ultimate boss. I'll be honest, man. It's time to let Ken have the Dark Hodo power. And maybe they're trying to draw that power out and transform him into Ultra Ken or Ultra Violent Ken. But again, you gotta make things interesting. You gotta change the plot. I think Ken and Urien are in cahoots together, but they're using JP's because JP has spiritual powers. And there's something they're trying to unlock. But yeah, man, it's time to spice things up in Street Fighter. We don't always have to have Shadowlaoo in here. We need new bosses. But yeah, that's the video, y'all. I predict that JP has something to do with Urien. And Urien's basically the new Gil. Because again, it's time to have more bosses. And JP to me is just a sub boss before you face Urien. And I have Kim being the ultra final boss. If you complete the arcade mode undefeated, you get him. But yeah, man, that's the video. But my prediction is JP is gonna be a sub boss. He's basically working with Urien for whichever reason. This Street Fighter 6 tournament they're hosting is something big getting ready to be unleashed. But that's the video. Y'all tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, and comment if you feel like it.